everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Hunter from Outtenastrophotography, and we finally have brand new details about the upcoming new release from ZWO, and that is the Seestar S30. It is a second generation smart telescope from the company ZWO, and we finally had the speculations of everything, including what's in this brand new smart telescope in general, which is now available for pre-order. So we're going to go through a little bit of the specs of what is included inside of the Seestar in itself. It doesn't look like it's going to be available until about mid-December. That's when at least, they start shipping things out. So if you definitely, after this video, you find that you like what you see out of the Seestar S30, I'll have links down below where you can go ahead and pre-order from many different retailers. So you'll be able to have it right in time, hopefully right before Christmas. Be a wonderful Christmas gift for a lot of people. So let's dive right in, and with the Seestar S30, let's take a look at all of the specs and what's included. But the one thing that I see is the price. $349 is actually cheaper than the Seestar S50, the original one, at $499. So that is also a very nice price point too, especially for people who don't want to spend as much as $500 on one of these systems. You're saving about $150 for something that's just a little bit smaller, but that does not mean that it's not as good, if not some of the cool features that is with the Seestar S30, that it's going to be hindering because of that price point. So let's go ahead and dive down in. Here's a look at some of the pictures of what it looks like, and it's a nice white and black sleek design. I actually really do like this quite a bit. And it has a small little tripod here, but I'm just very curious as to how are you able to balance and kind of make sure that it is level with the ground. I'm not seeing still any of adjustments unless it's internal. So hopefully we'll get some more answers for that here. And continuing to look through, it does have a brand new sensor. It does not use the ASI 462 anymore. And we have a bunch of other features. So let's go ahead and go right on back down here. So here is the speculations, the specifications of what the S30 has. It has the IMX662 color sensor, which is basically the new version of the 462, which we have all of the information on the 662. It is a 1 by 2.8 inch sensor. Same resolution as the 462 at 1920 by 1080. Pixel size is about 2.8, which is about the same, but the big difference is this has a much higher full well than the original 462 at 38.2, which means it has a lot more sensitivity to low light, and it has an even lower ring noise too at 0.8. Frame rate wise at 107.6 frames per second. So there is a little bit of some differences, and it uses the also Starvis 2, which is great for low light. And they actually mention about differences between the 662 and the 462, like the original S50 has, which has an extremely large full well capacity, which is 3 times larger than the 462, which helps efficiently avoid overexposing issues and allowing for longer exposures in low light conditions, and performs very excellent for very clear celestial objects. So that's really cool. We get the brand new sensor for this. The aperture on this is the S30. It is 30 millimeter. It's a little bit smaller than the S50, still at a focal ratio of about f5 with a focal length of 150. The S50 has a focal length of about 250, so you're getting a little bit of a wider field of view for your targets. So some of the stuff with the Seestar that you had to do before was, now included was the mosaic mode. But now this will also have the mosaic mode as well. It is an apochromatic triplet, so it's a triplet ED. Has an internal storage of about 64 gigabytes, which is about the same as the other S50. It's got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 5G, 2.4G, USB-C. Those are all pretty much the same. Battery capacity at 6,000 mAh, which is the same as well. Pretty much everything else is all the same as far as, like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi capabilities, battery capacity, but the size is definitely much smaller at 210 millimeters by 140 by 80. So it's definitely much smaller than the S50, which is great for travel. So they call it the Tiny and Mighty because there's a lot of the other features that we're seeing with the new Starvis 2 sensor that's built in. Low power, long-lasting battery, has built-in filters as well, which actually has 4 filters with this smart telescope. And the really cool thing is the dual lens. There's a telephoto and a wide-angle lens. And I really hope with the wide-angle, because I haven't fully seen it, but you might be able to do Milky Way photography with this, which would be fantastic. That would be really cool, because I've always been wanting to do that, but I never really had the capabilities to do so. But everything's all pretty much the same. You got, the triplet lens, apochromatic, you got everything that you would normally see in the S50. And here is some of the pictures it looks like that were taken with the S30. Now, before with the S50, with the Orion Nebula, you would only just see the Orion Nebula. You wouldn't be able to see the Running Man. Well, with this version, you're able to actually see both. And with Messier 31, the Andromeda Galaxy, you can almost fit the entire field of view of it, which is really, really cool. You can also do terrestrial photography with this too, and apparently there is a tracking feature for terrestrial stuff. So if you're using it at like a sporting event or something like that, that would be really cool to be able to track, motion of your targets or anything that deals with wildlife. Now here's the crazy thing is that they do a size comparison of the Seestar S30 to a 2-liter bottle of soda, and it's smaller. That is crazy how tiny this thing is. So if you want to take this for travel, especially like where I took my S50 over to Texas during the solar eclipse, it was still pretty good. I had to take it out of the box itself, of like the carrying case, so it could fit into my luggage. But this one here, you could actually fit it even smaller. And it weighs only about 1.65 kilograms. So it is pretty darn light as well. So they say for rooftops, cities, camping, take it with you wherever you go. Now, you do get the solar filter, just like with the S50, but this time, instead of it kind of like pressing in towards the lens, it's actually magnetic. So something very similar to what you would see from the Dwarf series. So easy snap on, snap off when we are looking at this. But what I kind of find interesting is if this is a magnetic solar filter, it's only for the actual lens itself, but there is that secondary lens. So I'm not sure if there is a feature that it kind of has that, it puts like a dark filter in front of it, so it covers it up for safety reasons, so you don't blow out your sensor from looking directly at the sun. So I'm hoping that is the case, and I'm sure they've already thought about that. But the dual lens, which is really cool because you can actually use both of them at the same time here. For this example that they have is the real-time switching between wide angle and close-up. So this is the wide angle feature of like a city landscape, and you can see what's going on with, the skyscrapers in the background, and then this is where the actual aperture is for the S30 main lens, the telephoto lens, to be able to do kind of like some nightscape stuff. But I'm really hoping with the wide angle here that you can do longer exposures with this, so you can do nighttime photography of the Milky Way, or even try and capture meteors. That would be really cool. Be able to set this up all night long, just kind of pointing up at the sky, and be able to capture, exposures throughout the night of a meteor shower. That'd be really cool. It also has auto capture and tracking, which is really neat here, especially for those who want to take this for, terrestrial photography. Everything else is the same with the Seestar app. You have your deep sky catalog, you have solar system, including like planets, the sun, moon, and comets. Star catalogs of Messier, IC, NGC, SH2 objects, well-known bright stars. And we also have the mosaic mode, which a lot of people have been enjoying with the new firmware update that we just got from the S50, which I've been using a little bit of that too. I'm going to have some videos of that coming forward because I had about 15 nights of clear skies here, so I'm trying to catch up on all the videos here and get them out here relatively soon. But also it has a little bit of some... I have to zoom out a little bit so you can actually see better. It has, of course, a light pollution filter, and it has a little bit of some like noise reduction, kind of like capabilities inside of the Seestar itself, so we can have much clearer, crisp images, thanks to wonderful AI technology to be able to auto enhance your images, and it's not faking your images, so already get that out of your head because you are taking actual exposures. It's just basically using post-processing that like we would normally use anyway when we are, editing our photos, using a lot of like some AI powered tools to kind of get rid of some noise reduction, sharpen things up a little bit. But it does have, let's see, keep reading on through. The triple filters. This is the interesting one because technically the 4 filter is going to be your solar filter. So there is a dark field filter which automatically reduces the noise generated by long exposures during deep sky photography, which is basically auto dark frames. We take them normally when we're doing regular astrophotography with our cameras, so that one's already built in, so that's really cool. Has a UV IR cut filter, which blocks out infrared light, which interferences for clear celestial objects. Very, very typical to what you will find for, your cooled cameras. Be able to have like a piece of glass over there because infrared and UV will actually bloat your star, so having that cut will definitely help out more of your broadband targets. And of course, you have your light pollution filter, which is optimized for your oxygen 3 and hydrogen alpha wavelengths, which is really great for, like nebulas and such, and also cuts down a lot of like the urban light pollution itself. So we have more features here of like the photos. You can do time lapses, video recordings. Those are all the same. You're looking at 64 gigabytes of storage on the system, which is pretty typical. We have the dual band Wi-Fi for steady connections. The range is about 20 meters on here, just from the internal Wi-Fi itself, but I'm sure we will be able to, connect to station mode in your home network, so you won't have to worry about that. But when you're on the field, you're getting a little bit wider of a range, so that's cool. But here's what you can see in the box. You have the Seestar S30, you get the tripod, you get a Type C USB cable, the quick guide, comes with a case as well, the magnetic solar filter, the safety guidelines, and even some astronomy themed stickers, which is really cool. So that's pretty much a lot of the, just the kind of bare speculations and specs of this system here. It is available for pre-order. I've already pre-ordered one for myself. Maybe I'll have a video of actually being able to test this here relatively soon. Hopefully that we can get it beforehand. So definitely, if the Seestar S30 is piquing your interest at this price point of $349, it is available for pre-order right now. And the earlier that you pre-order, hopefully you can actually get it before Christmas, which will be a wonderful Christmas gift for many people. And like I mentioned, you have many places that the Seestar S30 is going to be available for pre-order. I'll have links down in the description below of where you can pre-order it and use the affiliate links. It just helps me out a little bit as well when you pre-order, because I just get a little bit of an incentive back for, if you happen to buy anything else along with this, or if you're still looking at the S50. I have plenty videos, and even some accessories as well that you can have for your S50. Once the S30 does come into play, I'm going to be probably making some accessories as well for that as well, pretty much. So, thank you for watching as always. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll have more videos here relatively soon. And hopefully, here soon, we'll be able to have a lot more videos and wonderful technology to be able to test this, hopefully sometime soon. Thank you as always. Clear skies. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.